Nissan Advanced Metrics, time for those, powered by Nissan. Every Nissan designed for people who refuse to settle for less. Lance, Elise, take us through Alex Bregman.
We got to get him going here. He's, the Cubs offense has been on the upswing. Bregman's getting there, and I think, Elise, when I look at hitters, I like breaking them down based on discipline, so like swing decisions, and also the batted ball quality side of things. So those are kind of the two topics I want to dig into with you, the resident Hall of Famer. And also our guy Bruce, he had some thoughts on this.
Yeah.
This kind of spurred the conversation we're about to have. Now, the first thing here is we got to get Bruce to understand that there's a space button on his phone, but that's for another day here. We might have edited this up a little bit, but basically Bregman's saying, I was too steep, popping up more than I ever have in my life. Now I'm behind the ball. A good spot to drive. The swing decisions have been great since Milwaukee. So kind of a combination of things there. The last couple words, swing decisions have been good since Milwaukee, is a great point to point out, because I think that is the floor of Alex Bregman. The floor of Alex Bregman is being just about a league average hitter purely because he does not swing outside of the strike zone. If you kind of break up his season based on a couple chunks here, that last 14 games is right around the time of Milwaukee. His chase rate's almost half that of league average. You saw in this 29-game pocket that kind of went through the middle of May to the middle of June, it kicked up. He was right around league average. When that happens and you're not nailing the ball, it's kind of a tough balance to strike, at least. So discipline for Bregman, it seems like a huge driving force in his profile.
I was just going to say that for me feels like where it's kind of the beginning for him, that if he can trust that he is making the right decisions at the plate, that's kind of where it begins, because that's always been a part of his game. So when he starts going outside of that, then he feels like to himself, okay, wait a minute, this isn't who I am. I can at least be swinging at better pitches or not swinging and chasing outside of the zone. And so, because that is less like him. This is more like him, where we see him getting on base, getting knocks, because he's been really good when he does swing.
Yeah.
He's usually swinging at pitches in the zone and strikes.
No doubt, no doubt.
And so that for me is, I think that this is kind of where it starts for him.
No doubt. And then now we move to like the contact quality side of things. The popping up, it's kind of interesting to me. So I wanted to pull, Elise, for you. The big thing to me was looking at pitches that are around the zone, like that's dead middle, that he's not doing damage on. That's the big difference. He's usually like a 500 to 600 slug guy on these pitches that I would consider around the heart of the plate. Where we've seen this season, it seems to be getting under these balls. He was saying he's too steep. He's popping a lot of them up. I often feel like a lot of the time you could just reduce hitting down to, hey, did you crush the fastball over the middle of the plate? Yeah. And that's why we get to this board, which I want to show you. For me, this is performance on fastballs over the heart of the plate. So think literally anything dead middle. These guys
driving these pitches.
You should be crushing these pitches. This is how you get them to 25 home runs. 2026, the highlighted column. Bat speed's a little bit down, and his attack angle being higher is that point we're talking about. He's a bit steeper to the ball, and as a result, you see the slugging percentage drop a lot. This is, I think, an encapsulation as to why the batted ball quality side has lagged behind. But it gets to that point, he said, at least, of being steep to the ball. So when you hear that, what do you think from a hitter's perspective?
Yeah, so first from the graphic too, because I think we'll get to, that's kind of like the attack angle.
Yeah, we'll show swinging
So
a bit.
the bat speed, that's what sticks out to me, because I think sometimes you hear it both ways, that sometimes when your bat speed increases, you have to make adjustments because now your timing has changed.
This is like the Pete early in the year, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then that's an adjustment. And then there's other times where if you're losing bat speed, then maybe now you need to get started earlier or something else changes with the timing. So that's an interesting one for me. Now the attack angle, and when we were talking about this, when you think flat, you were saying that Nico is actually
Nico's
one of
basically around zero. So think like this. As you start to increase it, what happens is like the line goes up. So there's some guys in the 20s who are swinging up like that, essentially at a ball over the middle
where it's
of the
almost
plate.
like this.
Yeah, it's like that launch angle swing that you sometimes hear. Every swing has a launch angle, but the guys, I think what old school people mean by a launch angle swing is someone who's really steep to the ball. Bregman is a little flatter than average, but it's fascinating to me that he's steepened out because that lines up. I like when we get a player quote on, hey, I'm too steep to the ball. Even if he's talking about his body, the result of the body moving is the attack angle, is the bat.
And so when we were talking before the show that it's minimal, right? However, if you go back even a couple of years though, now it's a little bit more. So, there's this question that as he has tried to drive the ball and get it in the air, has he changed the swing a little bit, whether he has wanted to or not?
Yeah.
Because the idea is you don't really want to change, I think of it at least. I'm not really thinking of driving the ball as that means now I have to go up and change my angle. It's kind of just timing, the pitch decision, which was the first thing that we talked about, the swing decision, and then putting that together, and that's usually how you're driving the ball, which the slug we can see has not been there. And so, I kind of see this as man, you know, when I talked to him, the bottom half was really important to him, and something where he kind of took the top half out of it. But then I remember thinking, he told me that it's kind of become part of the top half too. So maybe that's what he was referring to with Bruce, is that he's needed to think about that more. And
everything is so connected. Like, baseball is such a rotational sport. When you throw, it's connected to how your glutes are engaged and everything, your lower body. Same with hitting, right? Like, you're creating ground reaction force, that's sending through your body. So if your legs are off, then maybe the swing is off, maybe the swing's a little bit steeper. But this is one of those things, do you think it's just like one swing, he gets it, and he's like, there it is? Is it more repping, pregame,
I think it's a feel for him. I think it's a feel based on what he sees in the video. Like, he is so in tune with himself that he just knows when he's there.
Yep.
And something else that I think about with the swing being steep, you know, this has kind of changed, at least for how I've thought of hitting over the years. Like, when I played, you could technically argue that my swing was actually not really ideal, because like I kind of had the swing, I changed from freshman to sophomore year and forward. I started here, and I kind of had to go down because I had the tendency to drop.
I see.
Okay, so I kind of created, when you talk about the attack angle, mine I had to visualize as going down. And then what I did is I basically created 1 point of contact, which in today's game is not really what hitters are thinking.
Sure.
Especially when you get the hips involved and all of this stuff. So what they're thinking and why you sometimes can flatten out is because now the longer my bat is in the zone, the larger margin of error to make contact. Whereas when I was doing it, I was thinking, boom, boom, the ball better be right there.
I see what you're
But now what you're doing is you're thinking like, I have my bat in the zone longer, so there's a greater chance that I can make contact with the pitch. And when you were on time, and when, say, like if it's inside and you're out in front, now you're driving that ball, or if it's outside and you're a little bit deeper, then that's how you drive it the other way. So I wonder if there's something to that, just when he's saying he's too steep, that it's creating a path, that it's not allowing him to drive it because the margin of error is so small.
Yeah, I love it. And let's take a look at when he's on. He had a swing against JP Sears that I really like. This is kind of a cutter up, little spinner. This is exactly what we're talking about. Like, he's kind of flat to that ball, but it's up in the zone, such that if he meets the plane of the pitch, he's going to be able to lift it. As we get to the second part of this tape, roll it through.
And Coley's dropping the bat.
Yeah,
so
he's doing that. That was something Cole was mentioning as well. But like, this is what we're talking about. Like, there's other balls.
I like that swing a lot.
There's other balls where he'll like come through if you go to the point of contact, and the bat will almost like kick up after the point of contact as if he's like on top of it or underneath it. But this is like perfectly level. I know we can't get the exact frame of where you see the ball coming off the bat, but this is the level Alex Bregman we're used to, where he's able to clip those balls top of the zone and lift them. I love to see this.
Yeah, and I was watching too, based on what he's told me, like the hips, when that turns, where the hands are. So, because that's part of the timing with him. Like when the timing is on, it's not always, I mean, a lot of the times you are talking about like, you know, hitting the ball out in front. But also in this case with him, you're talking about like, how is my body timing syncing up?
No doubt.
Because when your bottom half gets ahead of the top half, well, now you've kind of lost the power. But if you can keep the hands back, that's another way to make contact. But with him, we're now beyond the contact, right? Like, we're seeing that he is getting on base, he's getting hits. It was that slug part of that graphic that you're trying to bump that up.
Yeah, no doubt. Cole, that's what we're watching out for. Discipline looks good. Get the contact quality going in the middle of the plate.